before you come to Bali, something that a dear friend of mine told me, which seemed a bit spiritual at the time, but it's really important, and I really feel like it's changed my life and my experience in Bali. But Bali is a really sacred, magical place. There's something mystical about the culture and the lands and its people, especially its people. So before you come to Bali, while you're on the airplane, before you land, what you need to do is ask consent to Spirit of Bali. That's what I call it. It's kind of like the network of energy that keeps this place so connected and mystical. And before I first came to Bali, I was like, Bali, I wish to come into this world that is called you and add value and be received and experience all the magic that can be brought into my life. And I really want it to be a win-win experience. Something like that. You'll do it in your own way. But what's really interesting was that this woman that was at our Royal Code store told me that one of the main reasons why she wanted to come to Bali was because of me. And also, before coming, she saw that Bali video that I shared a while back around this, like asking for a consent and a blessing before coming here. And she said she did that with her sister before landing in the plane. And every day since, she felt like it's been a miracle. And, you know, regardless of if you believe that saying a prayer or asking for consent to a land, if that's like weird or not, what I do think is beautiful is to invite in the experience of positivity and honor wherever you go. But specifically, because my dear friend Heather told me to do this, that's why specifically it became about Bali. And especially because this woman just now today told me that she watched that video, did that with her sister, and she felt like it was such a beautiful attunement to the way that anyone could really think about entering into someone else's land with sacredness, honor, appreciation, and an invitation and a prayer. So if you're coming to Bali, please consider doing that. And if you're coming to Bali, please take care of the people and be so nice and kind in the same way that that's what this whole culture is about. So thank you.
Also tell them about how your song is playing right now, how you were sick 5 years ago, you never thought you'd come here. You can even just go up and show them the relationship with the Indonesian people.
Should I go over there?
Yeah, just like, why do you play my song?
So right now, I love, every time I come in here, he always plays my songs. He said this is his favorite. Why is this your favorite?
I love it.
I love it.
Yes, I love it.
I love
no
it.
reason to love something, right?
That I love it.
If I have a reason for love something, it's not love. It's just interest.
Versus just the feeling you cannot stop. Yeah.
You got my point, right?
I got your point, right. This is BGS. I love their coffee. It's one of my favorite places to come. You should definitely come here. It's a vibe. What's interesting, I guess it's been like 6 years ago now that I've been in Bali. And before moving here, I was living in a big city and I was struggling with a lot of health issues. And I was about 20 pounds overweight, but it was from inflammation. And I had a lot of discomfort in my stomach all the time. And what I ended up being diagnosed with was this thing called interstitial cystitis, which is basically giving someone a sentence to be imprisoned by their body. Because it was chronic pain, but they said that there was no cure for it. And I was dating this beautiful guy who's still my partner, but I was given an invitation to come visit for the first time. And it was so transformative. The truth is I didn't want to leave. And I've heard that with like the Bali expats here is like, well, like sometimes you come for a week and then you just never leave. And what I believe is that like even if you were born in a different country or you have a different skin color or you know you're not the same race as where you live, what I believe is if there is a resonance in your heart and your soul and it feels like you belong there, that I feel like you can come home to a place, even if it's not your heritage. Because I have gotten some crap online before around like, you're a white girl, why are you in Indonesia? Especially if I've said like, it feels like my home, and like, you're a white girl, you're dumb, what do you know about anything? Go back to your home country. And I get it. Like, truth is, sometimes my way of being didn't feel like where I grew up. I've always been like kind of ridiculously kind and want to talk to people, and like I'm also have an introverted side, but the way that I like to be and behave and hug people and just be so open, a lot of times when I was in LA or other places, I didn't really feel like I belonged. And I imagine anyone can feel like that at any stage in their life, but the way that I treat the locals and the way that they treat me, and there's this beautiful connection of playfulness and silliness and understanding each other and hugging, because like physical affection is one of my top love languages. I feel like really connected to the people here in ways that I actually never felt connected to where I grew up in Kentucky, where I traveled to in Georgia. Georgia was a good chapter, but especially in LA, being in big cities where you can go to a grocery store here or go to a coffee shop or go to a restaurant and feel within a very short period of time that you've been able to connect in like an open-hearted way. Like you can actually feel a heart connection from the people, that you could just be having a moment of like getting a coffee, where in other places that I've lived, it just always felt like everything was transactional. And so people have always said I have a big heart, and my big heart feels like my heart is more welcome to be in its bigness here. And that's also why I really care about the conversation around treating the locals with a more wholesome approach in the same way that they offer. So the culture of Bali is very family oriented, and there's a lot of really beautiful things involved with their religion that is centered around sacredness and respect and honor. And because that's really gritted into the way that they treat people and the way they interact with the locals, there's just this nice, wholesome, beautiful feeling that on a regular basis I feel. And since I first came here, I'm like, I feel like the locals are like my people. Now, I don't speak full, proper Indonesian, but I've learned little pockets of phrases and able to communicate small talk, which is fun. But part of why this matters to me is because I care so much about the people. I feel so at home here, and I know that this is a controversial topic, but there's a lot of people talking about Bali is ruined. People are ruining Bali, and the tourisms are coming in to take, and especially girls that look like me are coming, and they're savages, and they're taking, like I have been imprinted with the identity that I've come here to put people in slavery, like interesting things. And I think the reason why it's so important for me to speak up and talk about this is maybe that does exist. And maybe the reason why people get upset and think I'm doing that is because they actually do care. So I want to start the conversation and keep it going. And like, Bali is a beautiful place, and it deserves to be respected. And the people are so kind, and they're so generous. And there's a lot of service industry here. And I really don't enjoy the thought that just because they're in the service industry means that they're your servants, or they don't deserve to be treated with kindness. And just continuously imbuing the frequency of generosity that is here and giving back to the locals, tipping them extra, you know, even though maybe you could tip them this, like maybe make their whole day and tip them a little bit extra, or just be really generous with your heart or your spirit. And also, like, be good to the land. Don't throw trash everywhere. Like, you know, it's a big issue with trash here. And, you know, I even think I think being kind to the locals is the thing I care, like, the most about. 'Cause, like, I can't stop, you know, people from building and digging up all the rice fields, and the grass is like becoming concrete left and right. And I think that that's a part of when an economy booms. And I don't know a lot about that, and I don't even know how to stop it, and I don't even know that I have a say in it. But the one thing that I know that I can encourage is just being really kind and generous with the locals, because I think that what partly makes Bali so special is the morale of the locals, and I really value keeping the morale, the positivity still going, and never letting the tourism of people that don't know the depth of why it's so beautiful is the people. There's been times it's made me extremely sad to feel that the people from this land would be diminished or taken advantage of or not cared for. So that's really why I want to come on and share. It's like, be good to the people. If you come to Bali, have that in your mind. Say a little prayer before you come as a blessing forward. And part of the culture is there's like prayer baskets. They bless. Like, see what you can do to like bring that frequency in. Like, oh, like, man, I'm so grateful for this day. Like imbuing the life of gratitude, because that's a big practice that they do here. Seeing how you can imbue that into your everyday if you are here and wanting to visit. And also, you know, tip a little extra to the locals. Sometimes a lot of the people might have like, make about $250 a month. So just know that it goes a long way when you tip extra. And also, most importantly, just be really kind to the people and just know that they're such natural, like big-hearted, generous of spirit beings. And I want to keep that going as long as possible by continuously paying it forward and giving it back. So thank you for taking the time to listen to this, and curious what you all think. If you plan to come to Bali, take a little tip from what's changed my life and I think will continue to help make this place better and better.